All right, you guys, today we are doing multiplying polynomials. So yesterday we did addition and subtraction of polynomials. Today we're multiplying polynomials. So you're going to have to keep in mind your exponent rules that we learned kind of at the very beginning of the year. So let's go ahead and get started. It says use the distributive property to multiply these two things together. So this is what I'm telling you when I say you have to remember your exponent rules, because when you multiply things with exponents, it's actually addition. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little 1 right there because that has an exponent of 1. So anyway, negative 4 x to the third power times x to the second power, you're still going to have a negative 4x, and then 3 plus 2 is 5. That's where the exponent comes from. I'm adding my two little exponents right here together. They equal 5. So that's my first term. Then I'm going to take negative 4 times positive 3, which is negative 12. I have to take the 3 plus the 1, which would be x to the fourth power. And then the last one, negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. And then I don't have any exponents here, but I do have 3 with the first one, so it would be x to the third power. Then it says find each product using the distributive property. It's exactly like what we just talked about. Remember your exponent rules. When you multiply exponents together, you're adding them up. So negative 2, and this would just be like a little 1 right there. So negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. You have an x in both, and then 2 plus 2 is 4. Negative 2 times positive 3 is negative 6. 2 plus this little exponent is a 1 is x to the third power. And then negative 2 times positive 4 is negative 8, x squared. All right, the next one, we're taking, this has an exponent of 1 itself, so keep that in mind. If it doesn't have an exponent, that means it has a hidden 1 right there. Anyway, 4 times 2 is 8. It has an x, and 1 plus 2 is 3. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12, and then 1 plus 1 would be x squared. 4 times 5 is positive 20, and then it would just have an x, or you could say x to the first power. Either way, that means the same thing. So that's the first way to do it, is just distributing. There is these boxes that are next, and this is another way. Some people like using this. It's a table. So this is like what it would be if you didn't have any exponents. 10 times 10 is 100. 10 times 8 is 80. 5 times 10 is 50. 5 times 8 is 40. So then what you would do is you would add all those boxes up, 100 plus 80 plus 50 plus 40, and the total would be 270. So that's just multiplication, normal multiplication. But the second one has exponents and not exponents. It has variables in it. It has x's. So you do the exact same thing. X times x is x squared. X times positive 5 is 5x. 8 times x is 8x. And 8 times 5 is 40. So then what you would do, I don't have that much room. I'm going to add it all up. So I have x squared plus 8x plus 5x plus 40. I still have two things that have like terms. So this 8x and the 5x together is going to turn into 13x. So you'd have x squared plus 13x plus 40. This would be the answer because that's simplified. It's all the like terms have been added up. Okay, the next question says, what is the area of the green rectangle? So the height is right here represented by this. You've got a 2x and you've got a 1. You need to add those together, 2x plus 1. The width is this right here. You've got an x, and then you've got a plus 3 that you need to keep that in mind. Then it says the area is represented by the expression. That's when you would multiply the two things together. And I'm going to run out of room here because I made it a little too big, but it would be 2x plus 1, and then the other parentheses would be x plus 3. Hopefully you can see that. X plus 3 goes in that blank. It says use a table to find the area. So we are going to, and I don't think it gives you the table. Maybe it does on the paper. I'm not sure. But we're going to draw our table. It's a 3 by 3. Try your best. It doesn't have to be perfect. 3 rows this way, 3 rows this way. So up at the top, this one would be x, and this would be plus 3. So you could put a positive 3. This one you're going to use the height, 2x, and then you'd have a plus 1. You could put a plus 3 here if you wanted to, because that's what the equation said to do. So now you're going to take x times 2x, which would be 2x squared. You're going to take x times 1, which is just x, or you could say 1x, either way. 3 times 2x is 3x, and 3 times 1 is 3. So when you're adding all this together, you're adding these boxes, these 4 boxes we just came up with. 2x squared goes first, then you have 1x, then you have a 6x, then you have a positive 3. You have to combine like terms right here, so it would be 2x squared plus 7x plus 3, and that's my final answer. All right, moving on. It says use a table to find the product of each. Remember, you're doing a 3 by 3 table, so I'm going to go ahead and draw that now. 3 this way, 3 the other way. This block box is not going to be filled in. So the first box, I'm just going to do this one first, 2x plus 4. It doesn't really matter which one you do that in, but I'm going to do it right here. Then I'm going to do the other one, 5x plus 2. Now all I have to do is the multiplication. 2x times 5x is 10x squared, because x times x is x squared. 2x times 2 is 4x. 4 times 5x is 20x. And 4 times 2 is 8. So now these 4 boxes contain our answer. You have 10x squared plus 4x plus 20x plus 8. The only thing you still have to do is combine your 4x and your 20x, which leaves you with your answer, 10x squared plus 24x plus 8. That's my answer. I want you guys to go ahead and kind of pause this and try some of these on your own. Like, you can do the next one on your own and then check your work. I want to make sure that you're able to do this on your own too. I'm going to go ahead and fill this in. The first part of this was 7x plus 2. It doesn't matter if you put it at the top or on the side. It will get the same thing either way. Then the next one is 2x minus 1. 7x times 2x is 14x squared. 7x times negative 1 is negative 7x. 2 times 2 is 4x. And 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So what I have is 14x squared. I'm going to go ahead and combine these two right now. Negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3x. And then I have a minus 2. I kind of skipped a step there because I connected or combined my two x's already, but I think you know where I got that from. Okay, over here it says find the product of each, and then it says to tell me your steps. I don't need the steps. I mean, you can do this whichever way you want. You can think of it as the table if you liked the table way. I typically am just going to FOIL. FOIL just stands for first, outside, inside, last. So I'm going to take my first two and multiply them. 2x times x is 2x squared. My outside times my other outside would be 2x times negative 5, which is negative 10x. Now I'm going to take my inside times my inside. 4 times x is 4x. And then my last two. The last one of this one and the last one of that one would be minus 20. If you like the table method better, definitely do that. It doesn't matter to me either way. So now I'm combining my x's. So I have 2x squared minus 6x minus 20, and that's my final answer. Like I said, I'm not going to write these steps down. So if you like the table, use the way that you do the table way, or if you like the FOIL way, do that way. It does not matter to me. The next one, 5x times 2x would be 10x squared. So those are my first two. That's what the F stands for, is first. Then I'm going to take my outside times my outside. 5 times 1 is 5. Then it has an x there. Inside times inside, that's I think it's a negative 4, right? Yeah. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8x. And then negative 4 times positive 1 is negative 4. These two are combined, which leaves you with a negative 3x. All right, I'm going to do the table method on this one just so if you like this way better, you can see me do it one more like this. Totally your choice. I don't care either way. I've got 2x plus 4, and I've got 3x minus 5. 2x times 3x is 6x squared. 2x times negative 5 is negative 10x. 4 times 3 is 12x. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. So I'm going to start with my biggest exponent, which would be 6x squared. 12 minus 10 would be a positive 2x. And then I have a minus 20 there as well. So what I went ahead and did is I combined these two before I wrote it out. You can do that too. Then it says use a table to figure these two out. If you do this, you're going to have a bigger table than we've done in the past. So what your table is actually going to be is going to look like this. You have 3x, then you have plus 4, and then this one is x squared plus 2x. I think I put too many, yeah, minus 1. This, you don't need this one. I just added too many to it. When you multiply a trinomial by a binomial, the result is 6 individual products. Using a table is a method you can use to help organize them. So that's the notes right there. So let's go ahead and do our multiplication. X squared times 3x is, this has an exponent of 1, so you can't forget that. And so does this one right here. I'm going to go ahead and put those 1s there so you don't forget. This will be 3x, and then the exponent 1 plus 2 would be a 3. 3x to the first times 2x to the first would be 6x, and then 1 plus 1 is 2. 3x to the first times negative 1 would be negative 3x. You could put a 1 there if you wanted. 4 times x squared is 4x squared. 4 times 2x is 6, not 6, 8x. And then 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. So right now you can go ahead and combine like terms. I know I have a 3x to the third power and it has no like terms, so I go ahead and write that down. But right here I have 6x squared and 4x squared together. Those add up to 10x squared. I have 8x minus 3x, which is positive 5x. And then I have this minus 4 that's all alone, so it doesn't have any like terms either. So you can do a binomial times a trinomial, and you can organize it with a table as well. It just makes it a little bit more organized to help you out. Last question we're talking about is this cell phone. It says a smartphone has a screen that has a width of x and a height that is 1.8 times the width. The outer dimensions of the phone are shown. Write an expression for the portion of the phone that is not occupied by the screen. Assume that the phone is rectangular. So then it says write a formula and calculate the area of the screen and the area of the phone. So the screen, that's what they told you. It has a width of x and a height of 1.8. And remember 1.8 times the width. So x times 1.8x is the area of the screen. So we're going to actually go ahead and multiply that. That's going to be 1.8x squared for the screen. And that's all from up here. It tells you what the width of the screen is. Then the area of the phone is actually in the picture. 1.8x plus 3 times x plus 1. So we actually do need to go ahead and multiply this out. 1.8x times x is 1.8x squared. 1.8 times 1 is, 1.8x times 1 is just 1.8x. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 1 is 3. Combine like terms, 1.8 plus 3 would be 1.8x squared. This would be 1.8x plus 3x is 4.8x. And then you have plus 3. So we need this, and we need the area of the screen. It says subtract the area of the screen from the area of the phone. You're going to take the area of this one. We have 1.8x squared plus 4.8x plus 3. And we're subtracting 1.8x squared. So 1.8x minus 1.8x, those end up canceling out, and all you're left with is 4.8x plus 3. That's the area of whatever they asked us to find. On the bottom of your homework assignment, I wrote the book assignment that I want you to try. You guys can get a piece of paper from me. If you don't have any paper, borrow some of mine. If you do have paper, use your own. And you're going to try the book assignment as best as you can. If you guys have questions about specific problems, just circle them, and when we get back to school, I will answer any questions that you have over specific problems. So try your best. Remember how I told you to set up your paper. Make sure your name is on the paper, and make sure that the assignment is on the paper as well. And then when we get back to school, we'll go over it.